Hey guys, Cece back with another video, and today's video is going to be another installment in my top 5 series. So this one, as you can see from the title, is going to be my top 5 eyeshadow palettes. I'm so excited to be doing this video. I love eyeshadow palettes. That is usually how I purchase eyeshadows, would be in palettes. I usually do not purchase single eyeshadows. Obviously I have some, but single eyeshadows I feel like are just way too much work. You have to dig and look to find what goes with what and remember what you have. When an eyeshadow palette, you can simply open up and you have all the colors there. Usually there's some type of color scheme to them, so you don't have to do a lot of mixing and matching and trying to figure out what color goes with what. So palettes are just so much easier, especially if you are not a makeup enthusiast or someone who just only does makeup casually and don't really do it all the time. It just makes it a lot easier and user friendly when you have a makeup palette. So I probably have close to 50 makeup palettes. It is a sickness. It's a little ridiculous, I know, but it's my hobby. It's what I love, and every time they come out with a new one, I just feel like I have to get it. So today I'm going to show you guys my absolute favorite 5 makeup palettes, and this was tough. Like, out of the 50, this is it. These are the elite, the best of the best. I do have to warn you guys, 2 of these palettes are limited edition. Normally I would not film a video like this and add limited edition palettes in, but I literally use these palettes all the time. Like, I cannot do without these palettes. I would be lying if I said that these were not my favorite palettes. So that being said, I couldn't just leave y'all hanging with only 5 palettes. I chose a couple extra just to replace those limited edition palettes in this countdown. However, just know the limited edition palettes are my personal favorites. So before we jump in this video, I just wanted to say hello. My name is Cece. If this is your first time watching my channel, welcome. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you have not already. Join the family and you'll get notifications for all of my future videos so you never miss an upload. If you are not new to my channel, thank you so much for returning and joining your girl on this YouTube journey. So without further ado, let me tell y'all what my 5 favorite palettes are. Let me just say that these palettes are in no particular order. I'm just pulling them as they're stacked here. So the first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. This is one of those limited edition palettes, girls. But I can't help myself. I really love this palette. It has such a variety of colors in it. So this isn't one of those palettes where it's like all warm tone browns in it. There are lots of palettes like that. This one has such an array of colors. I can make so many different looks with this, and my favorite color in it, which you guys already know because I've talked about this a million times, is pink champagne. This color is so brilliantly gorgeous. I don't know how they came up with this color, but it looks amazing on the lid. I've done makeup looks surrounded by this and everything, so I just love that color. I have put a major dent in it. And then this purple is really nice as well. Pink champagne and this purple, deep purple, they go together very, very well. They also have this nice like reddish tone brown, hot chocolate. So beautiful. This palette is just amazing. You get a nice like antiqued gold. You get like your typical champagne color, and then you have some oddballs in there. So this like pinky purple, this green, you have a black. I mean, you just can't go wrong with this palette. It's so beautiful. One of Anastasia's limited edition palettes, of course, but I had to mention it because it is one of my faves. So I guess we'll get the limited edition palettes out of the way first, and I don't think this will be a secret. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I'm sorry for the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, but she comes out with just some amazing palettes that you just cannot deny, and I don't know, she's so brilliant with the colors and how she puts them together. This baby here came out about, when did this come out? Like 5 months ago? 5 or 6 months ago? This palette, I don't even know what to say about it. This is the most beautiful palette I've ever laid eyes on, I swear to you. The colors are, this one follows the same color scheme, but it has like these nice like reds and pinks, and I don't women usually wear reds and pinks, but when I got this palette, I was wearing reds and pinks, okay? It has some really nice colors in it. They're just bold enough to make a nice statement, but they're not like super out there. So they have, of course, any color that looks like these two right here are like doing it for me, like really doing it for me. And then I have this gold-ish color here that I love, Primavera, this red ochre color here, Venetian red, Love Letter up here, and of course this little orangey right here. Oh my god, Real Gar. That's probably one of my favorite colors in the palette. I think I just named you guys the entire palette, but that's how much I love it. Of course, Anastasia shadows are amazing. They're blendable, they're pigmented, they're everything you could want in a shadow. So if you can still get your hands on the Modern Renaissance palette, please do. Alright, so moving on to some palettes that you can actually purchase. The first is the Lorac Pro palette. This is an oldie but goodie. This palette will forever be an absolute favorite of mine just because of the shadow quality as well as the way they put these colors together. This is one of those palettes that definitely has a scheme to it. It has warm tone versions of brown in it. Basically, you do have this deep purple right here, so like a nice little pop of color. There's slate gray, but other than that, pretty much warm toned neutral shades. This palette is great for every day. It's great for date night, it's great for work, it's great for school, it's great for church, it's great for wherever you are going. This palette you'll get a look out of it. Lorac's shadows are of course some of the best out there. Very buttery, very soft, very blendable. I just spit, I'm sure you guys saw that. Very blendable and just absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't picked this up yet, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but go pick it up. The next makeup palette that I want to share with you guys is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. How do you do a favorite palettes video without mentioning the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette? You can't. This is the original version. They have since come out with the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. What's the other one? The peach palette, the peach chocolate bar. I don't know. It was a peach palette, and then it was the chocolate bar bonbons palette. I have all of them except for the peach palette, and I believe they're coming out with that again this holiday season. So I would definitely be grabbing that this time. But this is how the chocolate bar palette looks. Again, a very warm neutral palette, and it has like a few pops in it, like this pink right here, which wasn't that pigmented, I can't lie. And then they also had this burgundy shade right here, which was very, very beautiful. The only gripe that I had about this palette was that the color names were not printed on the actual packaging. So you had to keep the little plastic paper that goes on top. You had to keep that if you wanted to remember the color names, but I mean, that is being nitpicky, but the palette's beautiful. So for my fifth palette, I actually have two, and these are affordable options, by the way, and I'll explain to you why I have two, okay? I'm talking about the Morphe 35O palette and the 35O S palette, and the S stands for Shimmer. So you have the regular 35O palette, which I think is absolutely amazing. Look at those colors. All warm tone colors, golds, browns, oranges. What more can you ask for? This is so beautiful. I've done looks with this, and again, you can get so many different looks from this palette. I absolutely love it. So the reason I chose to do the shimmer as well is because if you are someone who doesn't have that much makeup and feel like, oh, I'm just gonna get this one palette and I'm gonna be using the hell out of this every single day, I think the regular 35O, that would do it for you. That would be perfectly fine. It has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers, and the shimmers, let me tell you, they're like pressed pigments, so they're super pigmented, super beautiful on the eyes. So if you're one of those people that doesn't need every makeup palette that comes out, I think the 35O is a great option for you. Now that being said, if you are on the other end of that spectrum and you're like me and you already have a bunch of warm toned neutral palettes and you're like, I really don't need another one, that one's really beautiful, but I really don't need another one, I think the 35O shimmer palette is perfect. And the reason I say that is because, again, the shimmers are like pressed pigments. They truly are. They're so pigmented and beautiful, and this palette is all shimmer. So literally, if you take one of your other take one of your other eyeshadow palettes. Look at that orange. Look how it swatches. So literally, if you take one of your other eyeshadow palettes and maybe it's an all matte palette and you just want to spruce up your look a little bit, you can have the shimmer palette and just make your lids pop. And you have like every color of shimmer that you're gonna need here. So that's the reason I think the 35O shimmer is a really great option. I mean, you have your golds, your oranges, your browns, your champagnes, your coppers, all those colors are in here and they're all shimmery, so they're gonna look amazing on your eyelids, surrounded by other great matte colors. Alright, so let me give you guys some of my other recommendations, since again I did choose 2 limited edition palettes. I have here a smaller quad. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Quad. This is my favorite one. She has 4 of these. This one is in the color Rust, and of course I got it because of this color right here. I think this palette is quite amazing for every day. So if you're just looking for an everyday eye, you can get actually quite a few looks out of this, and this palette's like 26 bucks. You only get 4 colors, but again, this is for my basic person or someone just looking for something to build around. So if you have this palette here, this Morphe 35O shimmer palette, girl, you in business. You could get endless looks with these 2 combined here. Next, I wanted to show you guys the original OG neutral palette, and that is the original Naked palette. This palette will never get old. I mean, it is just, it's the OG, it's the original. Urban Decay's shadows are great. I feel like they even upped their shadow quality since this baby came out. This palette is so old, but it is still so relevant and so usable and user friendly. I mean, honestly, you can create so many different looks with this palette, and you don't have to be like a makeup artist to figure out what goes with what. That's what I loved so much about this palette. I got this palette when I was a beginner with makeup, and I just felt like I didn't have to like go out and figure out, okay, if I put this brown with this color and with this color. No, this whole palette was designed so all of the colors go together. So I think that's genius and amazing, and it's still relevant today. So if you don't have the Urban Decay original Naked palette, girl, pause this video, get on Sephora.com, get on Ulta.com, get on UrbanDecay.com. Make sure you use Ebates now so you can get your cash back. If you don't know about it, click my link below. But anyway, make sure you get on one of those websites and you just go ahead and order this palette. You can thank me later and you'll be very happy, I promise. So the last palette that I want to show you guys is one that I've used in, I think, several tutorials. This is the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. Another drugstore-esque palette. I think it's in the 20s. I believe it's like $22, $23. But the shadows, first off, are huge. Look at the, just look at the size. Look at the size of the pans. Huge. And then these shadows, the quality is out of this world. These are more shadows that are also like pressed pigments. I mean, the pigmentation is nuts. I was blown away when I first got this palette. I could not believe it. I was blown away. Look at that. That's one little swatch, and I believe I've swatched this for you guys before, but this palette, I mean, I couldn't believe how great the quality is, and I keep saying that because honestly, I'm still stunned. Like every time I look at that, it's crazy. But again, they're like pressed pigments for the shimmers, and the mattes are even very, very rich and very vibrant. So if you're looking for a good affordable palette, check out Juvia's Place. Alright, you guys, so those are my top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 palettes that I recommend to you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video and it was helpful and informative for you. If you did, again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. You can also go back and watch all of my other top 5 videos. I have linked the playlist down below, so go ahead and check those out if you missed them. And also don't forget to follow me on social media. My Instagram, my Snapchat, and my Facebook. I am always on there. So definitely check me out on my social medias. And I think that is it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.